Welcome to A Journey into Yoga. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today's yoga class is actually named Yes to Yoga. How funny does that sound, right? What do I mean, yes to yoga? Well, what I mean is there are so many reasons why we should be doing yoga. One, it helps us with stress. Two, we learn how to breathe so that the stress components of our body leave our body. 3, we feel more grounded, which gives us the ability to quiet down a busy mind. 4, it's fantastic for feeling limber and flexible, no matter how old you are. And 5, everybody needs a little yoga in their life. So I could go on and on as to all the wonderful reasons why you should say yes to yoga. But you've said yes today, and that's what's important. So try to make today an important day of taking care of you. One other great benefit to yoga is that we learn about self-care. People nowadays are so busy. We're givers. We're always giving of ourselves, of our time, but we need to learn about caring and saying yes to caring for ourselves. So just remember that when you say yes to yoga. So I'm dressed comfortably. You don't need any fancy yoga wear, just some comfortable clothing, something that you feel good in and you can move in. And I just brought along today a yoga mat. I didn't bring any props along today because sometimes it's just nice to do yoga anytime, anywhere, and you don't necessarily have your blocks and your straps and all the other things with you. I brought along some water because you never know when you're going to get thirsty. And so just make sure that, before you start any exercise program that you've had a physical, you've run this by your doctor, and that what we're going to do is going to feel good to you. We know our bodies. We know sometimes our limitations, what we should and shouldn't do. So listen to that as we're going along. So we're all going to start, as we say yes to yoga, with our feet right underneath our hips. Shoulders are going to melt back. We call this mountain pose in yoga. Now, a lot of times our palms face in, and when that happens, our shoulders drop in, right? So let's try to get rid of that by rotating our palms either forward. Notice that subtle rotation made a world of difference. Or if you have a little bit more range, roll your palms out to the side. So let's do that a couple times. Start with your hands facing into your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Roll out to the front and then out to the side. Good. Let's do that again. Come back in. Take a deep breath. And then exhaling, rolling out to the front and out to the side. Beautiful. So now in mountain pose, you're able to open up the belly. Take a nice deep belly breath where we want to feel like we're blowing up a balloon so the breath moves out. The ribs gently expand, but the heart, the chest, laterally stretch instead of moving forward. Ready? So let's take the hands with us. We're going to inhale, reach up, look to your thumbs, and then exhale, let the arms drop out to the side, palms facing out or forward. Inhale again, coming up. Exhaling. Good. Let's do that again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let's do this 2 more times, taking a deep breath in. Exhaling. One last time, taking a deep breath in, come all the way up. Now, let your hands float back out to the side and release the chin towards the chest. So take a moment to soften the chin towards the chest. Good. Now, just let your hands fall naturally. You might notice they don't want to roll in. They actually want to stay forward. Now, we're going to bend the knees. Inhale, sweep up. Now, we're going to turn the palms out. As we exhale, bend the knees, drop the chest, press all the way back, look towards the earth. Good. Rotate palms in again, then scoop out in front. Notice how when we bend the knees, we're protecting our back. This should feel good on those legs. Use the legs to come up again. Inhaling. Finding your way forward and down as you exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in, coming all the way up. Exhaling to find your way forward and down. We'll do that one last time, taking a deep breath in And then gently press those arms back, melt the chest, reach the hands high. Now, if you like doing forward folds, drop the arms, reach for your opposite elbow. If you prefer being in table, slide your hands to your upper thighs. You can even do wall dog as a great alternative. Now, as you're here, just gently move side to side. So just taking the time to stretch the body can feel oh so good. And then once you work your way back through center, arms dangle, let's roll up one vertebra at a time. As we do, inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands in. Good. Now let's walk our stance out. So I like to say, open your arms, drop the shoulders down, and then try to find that your ankles are underneath your wrists. Good. Melt the shoulders down. Now take a full breath. Now as you exhale and come into this wide forward fold, reach for either the ankles or the big toes. Crown of the head reaches down, elbows tilt towards the side walls. Let's inhale, carry the heart forward, lift the chest, come out. Exhale to fold, melt over, melt down. Let's do that again. Inhale to lift, to come out. Exhaling to fold. One more time. We're going to take that big breath with us. And then exhale and stay here. Or slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, from here, we're going to straighten the arms. Let's start with lifting the right arm up. So we're rotating, stacking the arm up nice and high. Oh, I love this feeling of rotating my spine, and I'm getting a great leg stretch here. And then drop your hand down, tone through the arms, let the breath come with you, and then slowly open and turn to the other side. Once your hands come down, we're going to walk the hands to the waist, start to come all the way up. And exhale, step your feet back in. So that wide straddle should feel really good. Now, I'm going to turn. So as I turn, I'm going to stagger my legs. So let's step right foot forward into a nice strong lunge. Back foot is turned out. Roll your palms open, right? So again, let's think about opening the chest. And then reach the arms up nice and tall. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Good. So we're in Warrior One. So now the wonderful thing about Warrior One is we're getting a nice spine stretch, a back stretch. We're stretching out the hips. We're lifting and lengthening through our sides. Now, straighten the front leg. Inhale. Lift the ribs. Start to pour out. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Then drop your arms down. Come into what we call pyramid. Nose melting towards knee. So the hips are even. Oh, this one should feel really good to your hamstring. And then with your next breath, inhale, lift the spine up, bend the knee, and exhale, scoop the palms out, come up. Good. Now, we call this humble warrior. So we're going to lace the fingers behind the back. Roll the shoulder blades in and down. So hopefully you saw that rolling. We're going to drop to the inside of the right thigh. Now as we're coming down, I'm looking towards the earth and reaching the arms up nice and high. If this is too much strain, just keep your hands on your lower back, stack them, but be very aware of opening through the chest. Now, sliding the hands down, I'm going to place my hands flat, straighten out my back foot, slide my front foot back, come into Warrior One. If it feels better for you, come into table. Start to alternate bending and straightening your legs. Feel the spine lengthen. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. Good.
Now heels are going to reach down. I'm going to move forward into plank. So some of you might want to put your knees down. Pelvis and hips are neutral. So we feel the strength of that. Now when we exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Come forward. Nice strong core. And then work your way into downward facing dog. One more time, coming forward. Find downward facing dog. Settle the heels close to the earth. Lengthen the spine. And then the space in between your hands start to step up. It might take a couple steps or two. Let the spine lift. Let the spine lower. And then inhale, bend your knees, sweep all the way up, nice and tall. And exhale, let's step out wide again. So we're going right into that wide straddle. Good. Now, inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Reach for the ankles or the big toes again. Good. Inhale on this one, lift the head and the heart. Exhale, fold. Now, pause when you're here. If it feels good to hang your head below your heart, do so. Otherwise, come up to table. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders as you lengthen through the arms. Sweep the left arm skyward. Once the hand finds the ground, catch the breath. And slowly turn open to the other side. Now this is where I like to walk the hands out a little bit further like we do for downward facing dog. Sometimes you're in potted palm. But the important thing is to relax the shoulders and just like downward facing dog, slide your head in between your arms, look in between the space of your legs. Slide your hands back to your waist, carry your spine up, front body and back body come into one another. Take a deep breath in here. Arms come down, let's step in. Good. So now let's turn. This time the left foot comes forward as the right foot comes back, slightly angled. We're finding our warrior one. Now remember, there might be a shorter or wider distance between front and back foot on each side, depending on the tightness of your own body. So I know that I hold a little bit more tightness through my left than my right, so I'm going to feel a little bit of pulling here, so I have to be aware of that. Now as you bend your knee, palms roll out, reach up. Melt the shoulders down, and just feel the strength as well as the balance and the space. Now as we straighten the front leg, we inhale, coming either into table or dissolving down into the earth with the hands, the head melting. And letting the breath just come naturally. Let it come in, let it go out. So when you're having moments of stillness and quietness, listen for the sound of your breath. Bend the knee and come up. Palms sweep out. Warrior one. Hands come behind, chest opens. Heart begins to float forward, melting to the inside for humble warrior. So important to move those ribs to the inside. Carry the arm bones up. Let the head and neck relax. Try not to push the outside hip too far off your mat. Hands release. Slide them out. Straighten out your back foot. Slide into downward facing dog. See about lifting one leg up to the sky, maybe even stretching the leg up and then hugging it into your ribs. So you can do that. You can just let your leg float up and float back down and float up. Now it can float up and maybe even open your hip if that feels good. Flexing through your foot. Sliding the knee in, foot down. Let's take that other side and bend and lift. And hug the knee in. And again, bending and lifting. And bringing it back in. And bending and lifting. And then bringing it in, rolling the hip open, flexing through your foot. Slide the knee in, coming all the way into plank. Rest the knees, come into extended child's pose, just resting the forehead down. Take another deep breath here. And exhale. All right, slowly bring yourself up. So as we do, we're going to start to turn. Maybe you have a little water nearby and you need a little break. So we're going to start to slowly make our way on our back, but one great pose to explore is called Navasana boat pose. It helps with strength. So we'll start and we'll move from the basic to a little bit more advanced so that everybody can get a shot at trying it. So I have my hands behind my thighs. I'm moving my shoulders back and down. Now belly is drawn in. I'm leaning back, but I'm not rounding. So notice how my chest is lifted. Toes come up, scoop the belly in. Good. Now, you kind of have your points of balance. You're leaning towards your tail, but you're not quite on the center of it. Now lift your feet up. Good. Notice how knees are bent. You've still got your hands behind your thighs for support. Your hands can come out. Your fingers can stay down. Now let the breath come in and go out, and even think about Navasana boat pose of straightening the legs, lifting the chest. So you might feel your chest vibrating or your legs vibrating a little bit. Your core is pulled in. These are all good things. We're getting some heat, some digestive fire going. Maybe we want to do a couple scissors here and maybe some flutter kicks. So we're scooping everything in and then straighten the legs and lift. As we lower the legs down, take a full breath. Bent knees or straight legs, take yourself over and then let yourself come down. So lift, lengthen, and fold. Again, bent knees might be a better choice. And then start to come up. As we start to come onto our backs, we're going to lie down. Let's hug the right knee into the chest here. So as we hug the knee in, feel the stretch right along the extensors of your spine. Oh, this feels so good. Now we're going to use the left hand, because we're working with the right knee into the chest, to bring this right knee over. So now we're only going to bring the leg over about 3 to 4 inches to the left side, so we still can keep that right hip down. And then extend the leg. Good. So as we're extending the leg, you can point and flex, but also you're getting a nice stretch through your IT band. This is one of my favorite stretches to do. And then as we just hold that leg flexed, we just feel that deep, deep stretch. Wrap around. And then slide the leg up through center. Slide your hands behind the back of the leg. Now, you can stay here or curl up head, chest, lift the backs of your shoulders. And if you want a little bit of core heat, take your straight leg and gently pulse upward. So this is a great one to condition the abdominals. Notice chin is about fist distance from the chest. Pump it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take a deep breath. Now lower the leg down, release your hands, and release the other leg. Good. So notice as it comes down, you might feel one side is a little bit longer than the other. That's because we've stretched it, we've lengthened it. It shows us how tight we actually do become. So let's hug now the left knee in. So this feels really good. Taking time to stretch along the extensors. Just taking time to breathe. Take another deep breath in, and then start to bring the leg across. And then straighten it again. We're not going over super far. And then point and flex here. Get that nice stretch going. And then draw the leg up through center. Keep it nice and long, nice and toned. Reach up, inhale, and then curl up as you exhale. Extend the leg and pulse upwards. This gives you a little bit more tone through the abdominals. Keep pulsing up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the extended leg. Come down and then release the other leg. Good. All right, so now walk your knees in. We're going to place right ankle to the outside of left knee. Let's drop the knees to the right side. So you're feeling the whole left side of your body stretch itself out. So this should feel really good. And now come through center. We're going to keep a figure 4 stretch. So we're opening the right knee. Take the left leg up to the sky. Good. Flex that foot. So now this actually is known as a variation of pigeon pose that you might have seen before in a prone position. So this is a great alternative to hip and knee pain. So you can keep the leg straight, you can keep the knee bent, whatever works. Good. Take a few more breaths here. Really enjoy this one. This is one that you might want to do every day if you just have a few different yoga stretches that you want to incorporate into your fitness routine. Now we're going to uncross, slide the knees in, and then slowly release the feet down. Good. Let's get that other side. So we come across, gently dropping the knees over to the side. Bringing them down, letting your arms relax. So notice as you're twisting, does this feel good through the outside of your hip, through the lower back? Take a couple more breaths here. And then onto your spine we go. Let's take the leg up, reach behind, and then maybe extend up long, flexing through your foot. And breathe. Take a couple more breaths. And then release. Good. All right. So now let's just bring our knees a little wider than hip width, hands to your kneecaps, circling outward. So your legs are moving away from one another. This is a great one to loosen up your hips. And then go in the opposite direction. Now let's take the legs all the way out. We're going to cross the right leg on top of the left. And then move your feet a little bit closer to that left corner. Well, then just take your right arm up and over. Take your left arm out and around. And then do a nice little side bend here. So this should feel really, really good. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. And then come through center. And then change to the other side. Do the same thing. And then come up through center. Hug the knees into the chest and maybe reach for the edges of the feet in what we call happy baby. So we're reaching, we're opening the knees to the side. Good, and then take the bottoms of your feet together. Press your knees out a little bit here. So just a variation on cobbler pose. And then release. So what I'd love you to do is just to let yourself relax for a few moments. So really what Shavasana is, what it represents, is just nourishing and well-deserved relaxation. So a nice way to do it is to just let your legs sprawl outward 12 inches or so from one another. Same thing with your arms. They can move out about 8 or so inches from your body. Now, how we worked on opening the chest, so let's keep the palms facing upward. We're going to close the eyes. If your mind races, come into your breathing. Or maybe place one hand onto your belly to feel that breath and one hand onto your heart to feel it beat. So I invite you just to lie still right now. And through that stillness, I want you to find a place of peace and relaxation. I want you to feel this well-deserved rest and all of the nourishment that it brings. Remember that saying yes to yoga is saying yes to taking care of you. Taking care of you from the inside out is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself and receive each and every day. So as I leave you now in this state of relaxation, stay here for as long as you like. I thank you so much for taking the time to explore yoga, to saying yes to yoga today. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.